Ghana for Muina Kwaba Edeba and Kasa TV. Here in this national chairman, Johnson Asiedu Nketia in Simbia Betudia concerning the £5 million airbus scandal. No, Ghana for Muina name by Adrian Sentinel, which has a scandal since Semikwa. It is way more than £5 million. Ghana for NDC national chairman Eddie Nisama Betudia concerning this year a course. Sabrina, yes, right after that scandal, a course, and I say it took place. No, Johnson Asiedu Nketia admitted said there were a lot of financial activities going on in the NDC Amanukunim, and there was a lot of cash inflow. That means that the amount of money Amanukunim generating, it was way more than what they are giving out. And I think he was very shocked and very surprised concerning Inyama Ekoso. Right after the scandal, it was sent in President John Dramani Mahama or suspecting as I'm 20 Ghana for yes, Sambene could see in Semutu Mumbra. Medamuina as
yan military service no na omudwumadie no atimi atumpon. Na abuzafo sika twitwiri dia pie mu wasa contract we mu. Nanso ebe wiase dwumadie no antimi amiti said ye hwehwe no. Eno anaje se nhwehwemu mebre aba asese na chese ye hu nipa eye government official one no na ye hu nipa nkasa potia eye ono ani din no eye ono nkasa chese ono ana nensa ehye bibia mu efa the pictures of the 3 aircraft and I say ye di ebeboa Ghana Armed Forces and as Air Force dwumadie ewo man Ghana mu ha. Na me no kasa anopeye eye OSP kisi ajaben wa ye breakdown bi ede enipa ni din aba abeto edwa sisi amene okasa ide news a abeto dwa etrese the government official one OSP and naming His Excellency the former President John Dramani Mahama as the government official one in the Airbus scandal. We HSA John Dramani Mahama Emra Ghana say yekoto 3 military airplanes C295S from Airbus no. The nations received its first C295 in November 2011. The second was received in April 2012 and the third in November 2015. Then the deal covering them were argued at the time to be in line with the 2009 to 2012 strategic plan of the Ghana Armed Forces. Now, all the 3 purchases approved by Ghana's president and Ghana's parliament after heated disagreements on the floor were roundly marketed by the government of the day, John Dramani Mahama, as a drive to modernize Ghana's Air Force. Funding for the purchase of the aircraft. Funding for the first 2 C295s came from a 16,034,636 euros loan facility from the Dutch bank a friend of SAG. Now abutafo sa SAE and I assisted Ghana with that 60 million loan na yede ekwakoto ye first 2 aircrafts C295 no no. Then a further 11,750,000 million loans were also offered from the Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited, also approved by the parliament during the period for the acquisition of 2 DA-42 MPP Guardian civilian aircraft for the Ghana Air Force. Then the House also approved a total loan sum of $105,370,177 from the Brazilian Development Bank BNDES for the purchase of an Embraer E190 jets for the country's Air Force. The Embraer agreement was to cover related spare parts, relevant accessories, as well as the construction of an aircraft hangar big enough to house 3 large aircrafts. Now, for the prior to the parliamentary approval of the loan agreement, minority leader, then time minority leader, Osei Chimensa Bonsu, had slammed the deal as both questionable and non-transparent, adding that the contract sums had been padded by the government because next Ghana was for a idea anon edne. Ye loan if free ha ni ajibi free ha na chese no ana ye de ekwa purchases 3 aircraft no near the Ababa Ghana Air Force Jumadino Ewo Maimuha. He famously tabled figures obtained from the internet. That was for the internet table now or free honor. Parliament said you shouldn't solely rely on internet, Google, and for can't back any justification. And when the court airborne the justification as any claims no because obtaining the data no straight from Google. I know so that you can't rely solely on that. One of the C-295s are acquired under the deal-supported United Nations-led mission in Mali. The rest were bought, as the government explained at the time, to support strategic operations of the Ghana Air Force, including civilian of the country's offshore oil production fields, border patrol, the training of pilots, and internal transportation of troops. Now, I was in November 2014, then President John Dramani Mahama had announced that Ghana planned to acquire more military equipment, including 5 Super Tucanos, Mi-17s, and 4 Z-9S for the Ghana Air Force. At the time, Ghanaian troops were said to have relied heavily on civilian fights for their movements and needed military aircraft to correct this anomaly. Despite opposition criticisms, the government went ahead with the purchase agreement. It was for despite said now minority criticized then time John Dramani Mahama in deal say okoto sa aircraft Ghana Air Force Jumadino. Adibia na empenifo emfa omuti enje. But John Dramani Mahama enam ni interest ana owo ewomuniti. He went ahead to purchase the aircraft for Ghana Air Force, but ebuzafo wi ase no anko wie yie. Ye share loans ahodo ya ni nyina pie free mu baye millions of dollars and euros John Dramani Mahama engage yemen ewomu se ye de ko akwakoto aircraft e de abeboa. Nanso ebuzafo bibia entumi anwie. UK court judgment. UK court so a trial so be hwem amiyehu kwan omofa sokoto C-295 especially na omoche say corrupt. And you know omo so e de omo breakdown by ema ebeboa OSP kisi ejaben ono so investigation ana omo ye into sa Airbus scandal no mu na yetumi ehu nipa property ono so etale chiri. Na buzafo the recent judgment by England's Crown Court in Southwark would appear to have now given a new life to earlier suspicions that the agreements covering the C-295s especially were corrupt. The January 21st, 2020 decisions approved a deferred prosecution agreement, a DPA, between the Serious Fraud Office and Airbus CE, a subsidiary of Airbus, after investigations exposed massive bribery scandals involving the aircraft manufacturer in breach of the Bribery Act 2010. English law allows the SFO to postpone prosecution of an organization based on an agreement between the SFO and a company or companies suspected to have committed economic crimes. Such an agreement, DPA, requires a seal of judicial